What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MSR workshop. So I have an unboxing to do today. I think you'll like this, so stick around. So the review that we're going to be doing today is on a scope camera. Now, if any of you have done any searches online, the two most popular brands that pop up right now are Triggercam and Tacticam. Well, I've done a little bit more searching and there is other options out there, but they don't seem to have great reviews. Well, a new brand popped up in my searches that seems to have pretty decent reviews, and that is this brand right here, which is Scopemate. Now, Scopemate makes a couple of different scope cam options, and this is their newest one, and there's really not any reviews online. This is the Scopemate S28, which is their newest updated version that does 4K video recording. So we are going to get this unboxed in review and just take a look at it and see what it has to offer and see if it can compete with those fancier brands that cost a little bit more money. So let's take a look and see what we get in the box here. Comes in a fairly decent box. So starting off with, you have your manual, and then what will pop up on the thing are your iOS and Android QR codes for scanning for downloading the compatible app for your phone. Now, looking over the manual really quick, things it comes with. It comes with a tightening tool, comes with a bag, comes with an 18650 replaceable battery, which we will talk about here more in just a minute. Comes with a USB-C charging cable. It comes with these little rubber band sleeves on it for adjusting the tightness of the collars. And then your scope cam with some different size collars to fit on your rifle scope, as well as instructions for hooking it up to your computer, just some other basic instructions. And I will throw up the different settings that you can use on this while you are recording. But just to read this off while I'm taking some of this stuff out, it says that you can do 1080p 60, or excuse me, starting off with, we can do 4K 30 and 4K 60, 2K 30 and 60, 1080p 30, 60, and 120, and then you can go as low as 720p, 120, and 240. So if you want some really nice slow-mo, you can actually go down to 720 at 240 frames per second. Now, something to keep in mind is that the higher resolution you get and the higher frames per second, the more light you will have required. So if you're in a low light setting and looking through this, you'll probably want to bump this down to 30 frames per second, and we will test that out. But most of the time, 2K 30 and below will give you the best light options. 4K 30 and 60 tend to require more light. You can have an activated shock recoil function, whereas when you fire, it activates recording. These are your different size collets here. Your little rubber bands. Down in the bottom here, you come with some extra screws and a couple little extra O-rings. Leave those in there. Your little T-handled Allen adjustment, and then your scope cam. So let's take a look and see what you get. So right away, if you look at the build quality of this versus one of the other reviews online that had the previous model of this one, which they still currently carry and offer, it's just less expensive. One of the comments they said was that parts of that were plastic. As far as I can tell, all of the parts on this are aluminum. They did relocate the buttons from the face to the top, which I would have probably preferred them here still, so you don't have to look on top. But if you just remember what your three buttons do, on and off, record, and your middle is your Wi-Fi button, I suppose it's not hard to remember. Next, you have a focus adjustment. Now this is an external focus adjustment, whereas some have been an internal, or you have to take a cover off to do it. That is for focusing your reticle on your scope that you mount this to. Next, you have a USB-C charging port. You have a micro HDMI. So if you want to connect this to an external monitor or even your TV for watching it, you can do that. And then your mini memory card slot. Now it does not come with a memory card, but you can opt to get a more expensive version of this, which it comes with a memory card. You can even, I think, order it with an external monitor if you want to plug it into a monitor. Here is your Wi-Fi connection monitor, and then you have your 18650 battery compartment. It comes with a battery. Now, one of the other brands out there comes with an internal rechargeable battery. Those are okay, and they are a lot lighter because of that rechargeable battery that's internal. But if your battery ever goes bad or fails on you, or if you ever go dead in the middle of a shoot and want to pop a new battery on, you can't. This is nice because then you can just throw another battery in and you're good to go. Now, I read one reviewer that commented on the threads here. Because they are aluminum, they tend to grind on the aluminum. Aluminum threads aren't great, but one easy solution for that, if you want your threads to be nicer, is you just take paraffin wax. Paraffin wax is the stuff they make candles out of. You just rub it on the threads, and then when you get that on the threads, it doesn't have that crunchy sound anymore. Now, it may do it right off the bat because there may be just some little bit of metal filings, but then do that a couple times and that helps. The nice thing about paraffin wax over using grease is paraffin wax does not attract dirt and dust. So that's why I like paraffin wax. So overall, it looks really good. The clarity through the glass looks really, really clear. Let's see if I can show this up on the camera. It doesn't seem to be really any light loss. There is an anti-reflective coating on it. So next, let's go ahead and get this mounted up on a scope. We are going to be testing this on an Arken EP5 5-25 first generation. It is a great scope for testing because that scope has really, really nice crystal clear glass on it. And also, I will be doing a review of that scope dedicated here coming up. But I'm going to be using that scope for testing purposes on this just to show you the kind of video quality that you can expect from this on a couple different settings. So let's get this mounted on our scope and show you what we've got. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get this mounted up. And I've got my scope on my little rig here, and you want to make sure your reticle and everything is focused to begin with to give you the best possible looking picture here. All right, everything looks great. Next, it is just a bit of trial and error getting the right combination of spacers on. Now, if your focus adjustment ring is much larger than this, sometimes this doesn't fit on as good. In the case of the Arken here, this is actually below and it's tapered just a little bit, so these rings can actually sit on there very nice. Next, I'm going to take this guy and we're just going to slide this on. Now, you'll want to make sure that these little set screws are opened up so you can get that on there. And you want this to fit fairly snug. And just slide that all the way in until it touches the back side of this. And before we tighten this down, we want to make sure that the camera is square with the crosshairs and the scope. And so in order to do that, we're going to need to actually pair this to our phone. So I've already downloaded the app on my phone, and I'm going to show you next how to install this and pair it to your phone. All right, so the next step is we're going to go ahead and turn this on, and we'll hold that down and you get a little beep. Next, this is our indicator for our Wi-Fi. We're going to go ahead and hold that button down until it starts flashing. Good. And now we'll come over to the app. Should pop up right there. If it doesn't, just turn it off and turn it back on as far as the Wi-Fi connection. Now once that's connected, you can hit add new camera. And we are now connected. So this is what I'm seeing through here. And actually everything looks really square. There is my color target here. So right now we can click on my settings and we'll go up to 4K 60 since we have a nice bright day. You do get a little bit of screen crop, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras and we're going to actually start recording through the Scopemate itself, and I'll kind of talk you through what I'm doing. Guys, so we're looking through this at 4K 60. So let's go ahead and zoom in on our screen here. And this looks really, really good. Now I'm adjusting the pitch of this just a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down. On the side, just to snug this up while I'm doing my recording. So as you can see, color looks really good, but I am actually shooting through a window right now. Let's go ahead and open the window and see if there's any focusing adjustment that we can do. So to me, this looks actually really good. Let's go up here to this color wheel. That's really what we kind of want to focus on, is the color accuracy. The picture you're looking at is with a scope zoomed all the way out. I actually didn't do any adjustment on the color or clarity. It's just because the scope is zoomed all the way out, we get the maximum amount of light. And it's even picking up a little bit of mirage. Now it's really cold outside, so you're seeing that just a little bit because it's warm inside and cold outside. This is me doing some panning. You can see this is the neighbor's house across the street. Don't worry, nobody lives there. Unfortunately, it is an abandoned house. So, yeah, that's a whole different story. But it does make it useful for shooting video like this or setting up targets. And no, I'm not shooting across the street, just in case somebody is asking. But clarity and quality of the image is fantastic. And this is shooting with 4K 60. Now, obviously, I have great lighting on everything, but if you do drop down to a lower light condition, you're going to want to drop down your frames per second. And here we are back to maximum zoom, and you can see the light and the quality drop down a little bit, but that's just the nature of when you max a scope out. Now, what I'm doing here is you have a built-in optical zoom, or digital zoom, basically. You do lose quality a whole bunch, but one way you can use this is to zoom in all the way, which I'll do here in just a second, and you can use that to focus on really fine little print or something. So that is one way to just get the best focus and the best clarity out of something. So what I'm going to do here is we are going to eventually, once I stop shaking this thing, get down to the bottom of my vision chart here, and it has a built-in digital zoom, so I'm going to use that digital zoom to go in all the way and then use it to focus. Now it looks terrible, but you can see where I'm focusing a little bit better on stuff once I've zoomed all the way in. But while I'm getting there, I want to quickly talk about some of the settings that you've got in here. You have an ISO setting. You really only have two ISOs to, well, I take that back. You have a number of ISOs to choose from, but I found that the automatic is the best. The white balance, you only actually have two settings. You have a daylight and you have a cloudy. Both of them, if you set it to either one of those, doesn't give you the same white balance as the automatic. And the automatic tends to be the best neutral, most realistic looking colors that there is, as well as the ISO setting. Just leave that on automatic. Here you can see this is where I've zoomed all the way in, and I'm messing with the scope's actual focus. And then so when you zoom back out on the digital zoom, it's going to be the best possible focusing there. Also settings, you've got an enhancement setting, and so I would max that out. I did notice a little bit of a difference when I've gone, it goes from 0 to 9, so I'm all the way to 9. And then there is a quality setting, so there's a super quality in here that I've set to the max as well. There's also some other settings like automatic shot detection. If you want this to start recording on a shot, that's turned off for me. Also, there is a different audio settings, and that one I didn't mess with. The audio on this is actually pretty terrible. I'm not going to lie, I will mess with it again and change the settings around just to see if you can get better audio. But for all the audio on this, I actually just recorded this through my nice microphone and then just did, overlay with the rest of it. So take that with a grain of salt. You're not really getting out there looking for audio anyways. Some people that's a big deal, but for me it's not. I just want a good quality picture. But yeah, take some time to look through the app and look through the settings and just kind of get it tweaked to the way you want it to. There's not a lot of color option settings, so I just leave those to automatic. But I would set everything as far as video-wise settings to the maximum, and that'll give you the best possible picture. So here's a quick side-by-side of both of those before and after. The left is before, the right is after. Just look at the bottom row, like all the lettering, much clearer on the right. All right, guys, that about wraps this video up. If you want to know more about the Scopemate, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can go to Scopemate's website and you can check out all the different products that Scopemate offers. Now, like I said before, I did buy this with my own money, but Scopemate was nice enough to provide me with a little discount code for sharing this video with you guys. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, be sure and leave those below. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks again, guys.